So now, just like I did in the first series of Bear and Polo, I'm going to introduce climbing to you. And what do I mean by climbing? I mean connecting my hips to her hips in a way that I can start climbing to her upper body. Which, once I attack her upper body, I'm able to connect my hips to her hips, my head above her head. Just like the rules of Bear and Polo that we learned in the previous series. So, what I'm going to be doing this whole time now is I'm going to be focusing on her arms. And whenever she uses one arm versus the other arm. And when she does this, I'm able to attack the back of her head and start climbing. Okay? So I'm going to use the twister to bait her to use her arms. And once I get her to use her arms, I can start climbing. So I'm going to explain now. So I'm going to be here. Let's just go on this side first. I'm going to be here. I'm going to get the grip. I'm going to make the grip here. I'm going to sweep her down. Once I get here, I'm going to go for the leg jerk. She's going to bring her knees to her chest and go this way. I'm going to move my body this way. I'm going to get the hip. I'm going to bring my leg up. So once I get here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to bait her to peel my foot off of my body here. You see? So she's gonna grab. I'm going to be going for the twister here. She's going to grab with her arms to take my foot off her leg like this. The second I see her use this arm, I'm going to notice there's nothing blocking my hand from going to the back of her body. So what am I going to do? I'm going to change my hand to the near side hip grip. I'm going to grab the back of her head like so. Now I'm going to throw my hook in and attack her back here. So the second I see her go for my foot, I'm going to attack the back there. And I'm baiting her to do it. So I'm here. I'm going to leg check. I go to this side. I start going for the twister here. So she grabs my foot and starts peeling my leg off, like so. So I let her fall. Notice how her hip is up. I grab her hip like so, and now look how her head is straight. I grab here. Now I can attack the twister hook again, or if I feel I already can, I can bring her hips up and throw my hook in to take her back. Go here. I go for the leg check. She brings her knees up. I go to this side. I go to this side. I bring my leg up. I want to go twist her. I see her peel with her hands. The second I see this hand activated, means I can take her back. By falling, going here, connecting my hand now to the back of her head. So now she lets go and starts pushing me away. Now look, I can get the twist hook right here. Because I have the climbing grip on her back of her head. Okay? So once I get this grip here, I pull her up, I pull, then I can throw my hook in. If she defends by putting her weight on her shoulders, now I go to the twister. I fight this arm, I throw my hook in, and now I can take the back. So before she was just using, to defend the twister hook, she was just using this arm. Before she was just using this arm, right? And I could leg check her. Now, she's using the other arm. And now that means I could do this to the back of her head, where I could take her back now.
So you're able to do this move because I'm using the other arm now?
Yeah, now I can grab the back of your head. Your arm was down, I couldn't grab the back of your head, right? Let me actually do this because I just did the other side. now what we're going to learn is another variation of climbing. And what we're going to do is, like I always said before, how we manipulate our opponent by making them use one arm. And I'm able to climb to the back of her neck. Now, what we learned like before, when they used the leg drag arm, if I change sides, I could actually get the back of the collar the same exact way as I did before. But this time, I'm able to get it from the opposite side. So, I'm going to explain what I mean now. I'm going to be here in Del Hiva again. So weight's on her butt, right? So we lift up, we go here, chest forward, make the grip, here, step on the floor, get the grip, I go for the leg drag here. I go leg drag here. I start going leg drag, she brings her hip this way, so I bring my elbow to the floor, I step on the floor, I step on the floor, I get to this spot here, right? So, before when I said when she grabs with this arm, we're able to climb to the back of the head, right? But now, what she's going to do is she's going to use this arm on my foot. And what we learned before is when she uses this arm and takes it off, take off my foot, please. I can go leg drag, right? But this time I want to attack the back. And I have this far hip grip. So look what I'm able to do. When she uses this arm, I'm able to change the angle, switch my hand to this hip, and now look what I can do. I can bring my head to this side of her body. Look how I can get the back of the head now on this side because she's using that arm. Now I can come back, pushing her hip down, and I can throw my hook in and take the back. I just want you guys to see how I'm manipulating her arms to get to the back of her head, because every time she uses one of her arms, I'm able to climb. So, here, I end up in the leg drag. I start going here, I manipulate her hips. She goes this way. I step, I put my leg up. She uses this arm to take off my foot. She's trying to peel my foot down. So when she's using the foot here, all I do is with this arm, I grab the hip, I bring my head up. So I'm on my shoulder right now. I go my forehead a little bit to get to the back of her head. Now the second I get the back of her head, I come back. Now that I come back, I push her hip down. And now I can throw my hook in. And I can take it back. So we're here. I get her down here. I start going to the leg drag. She moves. I walk. Look at my hand on her leg. I get the far hip grip. I start putting my leg up. She starts peeling. I see this. I could, if I want, attack a leg drag, but I want to attack the back this time. So what I'm going to do is, when she grabs, I'm going to put my forehead on the floor. Getting a hip grip, so I switch my hands, I get the back of her head. Now I can come back and throw my hook in. What I could also do, if it's hard for me to get up a little bit, I use both hands on the floor. I push my elbows on the floor. You see how I can balance now without putting my head? Now I can place my head, get the back of her head, and now I can come back and throw my hook in.
I have a question about a detail.
Okay.
So when you're going to take my back, do you put this foot in my armpit?
What do you mean?
When you're stepping on the ground, to lift me up to bring me here.
I'm just pulling your hip down.
No, but what are you doing with this foot?
I'm just putting my hook in. Because
okay.
When I take your back, my hook is already in.
Okay, so you just
I'm just hammering it down.
Okay, hammering. Okay.
Because you're trying to take out my hook, so I'm just hammering it down like my hook's already in.
Okay.
And then I can throw my hook.
Just hammering it down. Okay. I saw you were doing something.
Look how when I go with my forearms, I can balance. You see how easy it is for me to go with my head now? To get to the back of her head. And now I can throw my hooks. Okay guys, so I just explained when they start using a certain arm, how I'm able to climb to their neck. When we're doing this far hip series, what you're going to notice is that when they use the arm that I would say to do the leg drag, I'm able to actually climb to their neck by going to the other side. Watch. So when I'm here, I'm going to go for the leg drag. Going to get the grip here. I'm going to go under. I'm going to go here. I'm going to start moving her body. I'm going to get my grip here, and I'm going to try to bring her down. I'm not going to be able to, but she's going to be touching my foot now. Instead of with this arm, just this arm here. She's going to be touching my foot. When I see her start touching my foot with this arm, what I'm going to do is, I'm going to come on top like this. But notice, because she's using this arm, remember what I said before, when she used this back arm, use this arm, I'm able to get the back of her head, right? Because this arm is exposed. And I can't get the back of her head when she's just using this arm. But when I go to the other side, here, look how I'm going to get the back of the head now. You see? So now I get a hip grip here, I put my foot in, and I roll back under. And now I can throw my hook in and take the back the same exact way. So you see, I'm showing you different ways that you could climb to the back, getting the back of the head. Because every time we get to the back of the head, we're able to pull ourselves in. So this time she was only using this arm. So I can't climb the traditional way. But then once I change shoulders, it's the same exact function when she's using this arm. Okay, so we're here. I'm going to grab the leg. I go here. I go to the leg jack here. I start going here. She brings her leg up. I put my leg up like so. So if she peels with the other arm, if she peels with that arm, I can get the back of her head. This time she's not. She's just using this arm on my leg. So I go to the other shoulder like this. Now I'm on top. I switch my grip to here. I grab the back of her head. Now I can roll with my foot like this, but I don't have control of this leg. So I want to put my leg in. So now when I roll, I can throw her hips this way. And I can throw my hook in and take the back. Here. She goes here. I come up here. I get the back of her head. Now I roll under. And I take the back. So you see how I'm able to come up now. I wanted to go twist her before. I feel like her leg is too heavy. So I use her weight on the back leg to come up on my head like this. And now I can grab the back of her head and the hip right here. Putting my hook in, and now I can throw my hook in the same exact way.
Also notice, whenever I come up, I pull the leg up, I place my knee in this gap of her leg. That helps me come up with my knee on the floor. Now I can grab the back of her head. And even if she lets go of the grip on my foot here, let go of the grip, because I have the back of the head grip, when I roll, she can't really defend this. And I can throw my hook in.
Okay guys, so I was able to get my opponent's back of the collar off of coming up from the leg drag. Now I'm going to show you when they defend me getting to the back of their collar, what I like to do. Okay, so we're going to be in the same spot as before. I get the leg drag, I pull her hip up, I get the grip, I go into the leg drag spot here. I start going leg drag, she brings her hip up, I walk. So now I'm going to come up to this spot here. And when I come up to this spot here, I'm going to want to grab the back of her head, but both her arms are down right now. I could go for the double leg roll, but I feel like this leg is very heavy, her back leg. So what am I going to do? I'm going to come up this time, putting my knee in between her legs like so. And I want to grab the back of her head, but she's blocking me with her elbow this time. So because she's blocking me with her elbow, all I'm going to do is use this bar hip grip to open her arm like so. And when I open her arm, I'm going to place my arm under her shoulder. I'm going to make a grip on her body. Now I'm going to bring this hand under her bottom hip. And now I'm going to pass to north-south again. I can even windshield wiper my leg onto her arm. But when she fights me here and makes this space with her arm blocking me, where I can't grab the back of her head, now I can just use my arm either on top of her arm or under her arm. I prefer, if I can get it, under her arm because I can open her shoulder. Okay. So she's here. I'll use my elbow, my hip grip elbow. So push me. Yeah. I use my hip grip elbow to open her arm, to scoop my arm under. Now I can bring my hand up, put my weight on her shoulder, and I can pass her guard like so. Okay, so again. I just want to give you guys so many different options that you could play with in these spots, you know. Some of them are going to overlap, like you'll see, oh, I can do double leg roll here. I can do this here, you know. So I want to give you guys as many options as you want so you guys can play with them and decide what you feel is better for you. But this variation is going to be when you come up. You're going to be wanting that back of the head, but she's blocking it now, putting her shoulders down. And every time she puts her shoulders down, she compromises her hips, and I can pass the grip. So here. Leg drag. I go here, she brings her hip up, I walk. I can't lift this knee up, it's heavy. So I bring my foot up, I come on top, bringing my knee under her hip like so. I get to this spot, she's pushing. I want to grab the back of her head, but she's blocking with her elbow. All I do is I use my elbows like so, I bring it under, and now I pass. So if I pass here, this is strong, but she can start fighting me to get the half guard, you see. But the second I pass, if I go under her legs, now she can't bring her legs back, and look how I'm able to remove her knee from her chest. Where now I can pass the guard really easy. Because I created this space. Now I'm in the box to pass.
See, if I can trap this arm, I always try to trap this arm. So now it's just her one arm against me. And now it's way stronger.
Okay guys, so now what we're going to do is, I'm going to show you a pass variation I could do in this spot that also works the same exact way that we've been working with moving her hips one way, she goes back the other way. So now I can compromise and make this space. And once I make this hole, I'm able to apply this pass. Okay, so I'm going to be here. I'm going to be going, let me actually face the other way for this one. I'm going to be going for the leg drag here. I'm going to go in here.
Get my grips here. I'm going to go to the leg drag. Her hips are this way. So I walk. But notice how both her arms on the floor. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hook her arm like so. And when I hook her arm, remember before I used the arm hook to drag her leg? But this time her hip is this way. So what am I going to do? I'm going to walk more. I'm going to use my foot hooking her knee to bring my arm inside her leg like this. Now I'm going to bring my body up. I'm going to end up in north-south. And notice how her legs are this way. All I have to do here is get my head on the inside of her body here. And now I can go to north-south holding the shoulder. I can grab that head again. But you see her arm is stuck. So she only has one arm to fight me here when I come up. So when I come up here and she's fighting me, this arm is the only arm fighting me. So it doesn't matter that she's fighting me here because keep my leg out. I put my head inside.
I don't really have strength either because my hips are that way.
Once I have my head inside and her arms here, she has no strength here. And now I can pass her guard here.
You see, so I bait the hooking the arm, and then I'm able to end up in north-south.
That's pretty cool.
So I'm here.
My hip. Leg jerk, she opens her hip. I walk. Now her arm's on the floor. So I could go for the back variations here, but I see her arms on the floor, so I'm going to take advantage of it. I'm going to hook her arm. So now I'm only fighting one of her arms. I'm going to use my leg drag hook to bring her hip more this way. I'm going to bring my arm in. And once I bring my arm in, she's going to fight me with that arm. But once I come up, you see how I have the balance? I'm already on my knee. Once I come up, I put my head inside her legs like this. And I tripod my weight forward. So now she's pushing this leg. It doesn't matter. I can even hand fight this arm. I'm really strong here. She has no control because she only has one arm against my whole body. You see? And now I can get to the shoulder. I can even switch my feet and get back to side and choke here.
So you see, like before, we trapped the arm to do the leg drag. We're able to do the same exact concepts, just to do different things. One to her hips to the other side. They all are the same concepts, you know. So we're here. I go leg drag. I go to the leg drag here. She opens her hip.
I walk. I hook her arm now. Now that I hook her arm, I walk a little more.
Notice how I'm already up right now. You see I'm on my knee? That's why it's so easy for me to do this.
Because I'm already on my knee. So now all I have to do is hook her leg to bring... Again, what did I explain about passing someone's guard?
Removing their knee line. Their knee from their chest, like this. Look, that's how we were leg dragging her, right? We're doing the same exact thing. Look at my leg drag hook.
Here. Look what it does. It's doing this. You see how I removed her knee from her chest? Now, because there's a space here, I'm able to bring my arm in. Now use your arm on my leg, Tammy. Yeah. Now I can bring my head in. Now I completely need the space to pass the guard.
I just want you to see that every time you do any pass, how her knee is removed from her chest. You see, it's the same exact thing as the leg drag, but we're going to north-south now. So we're here.
I drag up in here. I chop her arm. I walk. I use my knee to remove her knee from her chest. I bring my arm in. Once I bring my arm in, she's going to be fighting me with her hand. On my leg, yes, exactly. Now I just come up here. Her knee might be still fighting me here, but look how I have the arm keeping her knee off her chest. You see, if my arm wasn't there, she could keep her knee. But because my arm is in this spot, take your knee to your chest. But try to fight it a little bit. Now I put my head in. Now once my head is in, I get to the north south. Let me show this angle now. See, in this arm here, I'm just putting it on the mat to help me get up, and I'm using it to push this knee away from her chest and to make this space bigger for my head to fit in. So I just use my arms here, and now I can get my head in. And I can even push this leg a little bit, and then I can go to this side, and now I can pass the guard.
Okay, in this segment now, I'm going to review what we just learned, and you're going to see how we could combine everything together. You see, I like to do a lot of review portions of this video, just so your mind starts thinking of them in different spots, and how you could apply it to different spots, right? So, I show you positions, I show you concepts, but what you're going to learn is when you learn a concept or position, you have to learn how to apply it, not in the same situation, right? You're not trying to mimic. You're trying to learn just this concept that you could apply, and it doesn't matter when it's happening, okay? It's just going to be in the same sequences, and it's going to be following the same rules, right? So, again, lay down. Again, just to review. Every time her knees are on her chest, we can expose the back. Every time we're able to remove one knee from her chest, we're able to expose a pass. Whenever I do one thing, like pushing her knees to her chest to take the back, she's going to defend, doing the other thing. Whenever I do the other thing, taking her knees away from her chest, she's going to bring her knees to her chest, right? So pass, take the back. Pass, take the back. Every time I try to bring her hips one way, she's going to defend, bringing them the other way. She's going to try to defend me, bringing them this way. So defend, bring your hips this way. Like open your hip this way. Like bring your hips this way.
Oh.
You see, I can't bring her hip this way, but now I can bring her hip this way. I want to bring her hips this way, she defends. Now I can bring her hip this way, right? These are all the basic rules that we're using in these sequences. And once you understand these basic principles of just how we're moving her hips, it's so simple because you're never forcing one thing. The problem is when you try to force a leg drag like this, and she's fighting here, I need to use a lot of strength to force her knee open. But you shouldn't need to, because once you feel that her knee is going to her chest, we work something else. If I'm trying to bring her knees to her chest and she's pushing away and backing up, you don't need to force her knees to her chest. we're just going to do what she gives us in these basic principles. And basically, some of these principles are going to overlap. The positions I show you are going to overlap. Now I can do a north-south pass. Oh, knees are to the chest. I can go twister hook. I can go double leg bolo. I can go to top. I can feed the back of the collar, right? That's what I'm trying to tell you. These techniques are all going to combine, and you're going to just, once you see the rule, oh, knees off chest, that means you could pass the guard with a leg drag, a north-south pass. Okay? I'm not telling you exactly which to use. I'm telling you just to have in your mind, okay, now I'm in this world. I'm going to use these series of positions, and you're going to get to choose which you prefer. So, I'm here in a leg drag. I have the near side hip. I start bringing her knee to her chest because I want to go twist her. She's going to back away and push me. Like, back away. Now look. What just happened? I brought her knees to her chest. She backs away, and she's pushing away because she knows I'm attacking her back. I'm trying to put her knees to her chest. She doesn't like it. So now look. ASIS, head to the floor. I come up. Leg drag. Right? So look. Now I'm trying to go leg drag. I'm here. She brings her knees to her chest to defend. Look. Now I walk. Now look. I try to take her knee off her chest. She defends bringing her knee to her chest. Right? Now look. I bring my leg up. Now I can go double leg bolo. Because her knee's on her chest. Every time, I'm baiting one to get to the other. And this is what you're going to see. So again, I'm here. Go leg drag. She's here. Now I want to go to here. I want to take her back. She defends pushing away. Yes, look. Her leg just came away. Now I lift up. I pass the guard. Her knee removed from her chest when she felt I was putting pressure on her chest. Now I can pass the guard. I'm here. I'm trying to remove the knee from her chest. She brings it to her chest. Here. Right? So now I come up. I get to this spot. I come up. I see. I want to take the back. I want to grab the back of her head. Her elbows on the floor. So I come up. Now I'm here. Now her knee stays on her chest, right? But now I'm putting pressure on her back. Now I can move her knee from her chest and pass the guard. So I just want you guys to understand how we're combining these principles. And if you just learn this technique without any concept of what I'm explaining, it'll be very difficult to do because you'll be forcing. Our whole goal is never to force positions. Our whole goal is for you not to need conditioning to finish these positions. You know, I really want you guys to be able to just go with what they give you and bait one to get to the other. So if you guys can, after learning these positions, I want you to drill, and I want your partner to keep giving you different baits, like putting her knees to her chest, pushing away her knees from her chest. And then you guys stop and say, wait, okay, I just pushed my knees away from my chest. That means now you're in the passing world. I'm peeling your leg. That means I can climb to your neck. Okay? And your partner and you are both going to do this together. So you're going to have your partner, you're first going to tell your partner what reaction to give you. Then your partner is going to start mixing them in. And once you start mixing them in, that's going to work your brain to start teaching your body to respond correctly to each scenario. And once you get to that point, that's when you have mastery of these positions. And that's when you don't need to force anything. And I think it's so important practicing and drilling, like I'm saying, because that's when you'll get to that level of understanding, is when your body will know exactly when to do it. But the only way you could get to that subconscious level is consciously, over and over, repeating these scenarios. And then your drilling partner eventually giving you different scenarios in this sequence. Like where she puts her knees to her chest. So you start going for her back. Then she defends, taking her knees away from her chest. And then we go for a pass. I start going for the pass. She brings her knees back. We go for the back. Always combining them together. Always challenging your brain to solve the puzzle. And once you do that consciously, over and over, I promise you, subconsciously, your body is going to do this naturally. You know, so please practice these scenarios. Please practice understanding the hips and knees. This was just for the leg drag hook, the basic leg drag hook. You're going to learn now the crab ride hook. You're going to learn the X hook. You're going to learn all these different things, and they're all going to overlap. But the knees to chest, the side to side, all the same concepts everywhere we go. But You just have to understand why we're doing them and what we're doing. And that's what's going to get you to understand these, and that's what's going to get you to be successful in these scenarios.